Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2, where, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really remember a lot of what I did last time. Here's the thing, I should have gone to bed instead of recording. I was way too tired to be doing anything that is at all mentally taxing. So I don't really remember what we did very much. We're gonna take a moment here and just go over things, make sure I didn't make too much of a dog's breakfast of it, but I did make one big mistake that I want to talk about real quick, just so everybody's clear, and I want to thank the Nose Plays for pointing it out in the comments of the last episode. This is actually a thing I knew already, I just, was not operating on full brain last night. It is almost never right to run the Argosy around looking for a better system. Just settle on the first turn. Get your society started. It's okay to hunt for good systems after that, with your second and third settles. But the benefit of getting your economy going, of getting your industry building and stuff on the first turn is so large that you'd have to get lucky and find just an incredible system that has a good unique planet in it or something in order to overcome that benefit. So, small error there on my part, and when I say small I mean large. Large error there on my part. But we will persevere. We will get through these mistakes that I have made. So, the system that we did set up, I think, is still pretty good, right? Yeah, we got this ocean, we got this thing going on. We have reasonable planets. We have okay population types. We have a unit of Pulsos population that is on the wrong world, because they definitely want to be on the world that has the anomaly. And then we also want to make sure we're producing as much food as possible, so let's have people on the food world. Okay, so this is good. This is a good home system. It probably would have been better to just settle Asula right away, but we're not in terrible shape here. And then over here, obviously, Psychogoja is great. As we continue to produce population here, Psychogoja is going to produce a lot of extra influence for us, which hopefully we can still use to get a non-aggression pact with the pirates, although it does seem to be getting more expensive, doesn't it? I would really like to do this. I'd really like to try this out. So, I think that is the reason that we didn't research off-world agribusiness, because I'm trying to save up my influence so we wouldn't be able to use our influence to talk to the minor civilizations anyway. But I wonder, should we go back and get it? The infinite supermarkets are a good building. I don't know that we need them right this second, but they are a good building. I don't know. I'll think about it. How many curiosities do we see on these worlds? So here we have 4. Alright, the way that searching curiosities for minor factions work is that it gives you 1 point of approval every turn for 10 turns. So as it stands right now, we'd be able to get 40 approval from these guys just by doing that. But we will need off-world agribusiness or a hack on them to finish the job of getting them to give us their quest. How much science does it cost to pick up? 290, which is like 1 turn. It is a little bit inefficient to research something in the first tier over here at this point, but yeah, maybe it's worth doing. I want access to the marketplace as well, because we're going to need to be able to buy strategics if we can't get our own strategics by settling Asulo. Alright, and on the subject of Asulo, first of all, is our government reasonable? It is. It's okay. We should talk about population types, because we didn't have to do this very much in the first game. Like I've said, I think that the Sisters of Mercy and the Vultures are both really, really weak population. We have already picked up another unit of population that I think is considerably better. So I'm going to be making an effort to make our empire be as much other things as possible. We'll just try to minimize the number of Vultures and Sisters of Mercy that we produce. Obviously, getting points of population is the most important thing, so I'm not going to slow our birth rate or anything, but there are some things we can do to make it more likely that we will generate minor faction population. One of those things is push population boosts. Because not only does this double the output of the population, but it also doubles the likelihood that they will be the type of population produced when we produce a new unit of population. So as soon as we have the market, we're going to want to keep Pulsos boosted like 100% of the time, I think. Also, they're just a good population type. Doubling their output is really strong. Every population has 3 different levels of collection bonuses. The first one is always additional political output of the type that they normally output. And the political output of populations is a little bit more complex than just, I love industrialism. They also have these other traits down here that affect how they view different types of events, or rather, what types of political will they produce when certain types of events happen. So when an industrialist event happens, for example, building a structure that produces industry is usually one of those, right? Yeah, you can see political impact produces industrialist political will. When such a thing occurs, units of Pulsos population produce more political will than other population types will. When a scientist political thing happens, they'll produce the normal scientist will, but also some industrial will. They really don't produce much ecologist will, no matter what. So, the population makeup of your empire dramatically informs which parties are, even feasible to win seats in your government, which obviously is a big deal because laws are powerful and important. So, if we were to really go in hard on the Pulsos, our government's probably going to end up being like industrialist scientists, because remember, we still do have people putting out a lot of scientist will as well. I think that's fine. Industrialist scientist is that's a good, strong government. So yeah, we're doing well. We're doing fine. Everything's fine. I do have a hack running. Yet we're gonna finish getting Talitha all the way on our side. We need to run a scout, like I said, over to Uentho. We also need to go to Gem. How many... Zoomed in a little too far there. How many... Okay, there are 4 anomalies here as well. Are either of these factions warmongers? This one is. My experience with warmongers has been that if you try to stop a probe ship at their system to search anomalies before you have made friends with them at least a little bit, they attack you. So we're not going to send our scout to Gem, is where I'm going with that. These guys are pragmatists. They understand the value of good scouting. Let's go ahead and send our scout over here. Also, pirate ship. Let's see, the pirates in this galaxy are, at the moment, outfitted with laser-type weapons. That's good information for us to have. For when we build our combat ships, which we are going to do because we want to take Asulo back. Hopefully doing that won't upset the pirates too much, because obviously I really don't want to lose the opportunity to make that non-aggression pact. But they should have asked my permission before settling there. Okay, also the Argosy is ready to go. What are we going to do with it? Well, we have free space tech. Is this actually a good system? Obviously, it has Harrow. You can't put people on Harrow, because, you could see it in the background there. It is extremely not livable. But the Academy's cool. So we got a large lava world, a medium ash world, with a hostile presence detected. Interesting. This medium arid world that we could totally live on. Subterranean curiosity is likely to be a strategic resource. And then this world that we would want to start on, which... yeah, honestly looks pretty good. It's a source of titanium and possibly also a source of Hyperium. Yeah, okay. I like that. I like that quite a bit, in fact. Let us go forth and own all of the fancy, unique planets that we can find. Am I going to get attacked here? If there's a pirate fleet there, they'll potentially be in guard mode and they might stop us. Yeah, whatever. The Argosy will just run and then it'll make it to Kerr anyway. Alright, so I think things are going pretty well here. I think we are in an okay spot. Got population being born. We have the ability to buy Red Sang from the marketplace now. Yes, there is Red Sang. Make sure we boost our pulsos here. So we are indeed getting a unit of pulsos population on the next birth. And look at him there. 2 industry and 10 extra science. What a hero. Okay, it does not matter what world you're on. You always produce 5 food. Honestly, it would be good to boost these guys too, but I don't think we're going to be able to purchase Emianthoid at this point in the game. Yeah, it's a higher level luxury. How about strategics? Okay, really not a lot of that stuff, unfortunately. Well, we kind of want to hoard strategics for the moment, because I want to get the settle done as quickly as possible. Okay, there were no pirates. Frankly, there being pirates there might actually have been good for us. If they attacked and I retreated, the Argosy could have run away to Tsing. But you know what, it probably only moves away the number of move points that it actually has, so probably it wouldn't have sped things up at all. That would be the sensible way to implement that. Okay, do I actually need the colony on Vorda right away? I'm wondering if we could just start producing ships here, right? Let's do ships. So, let's talk about the ship designs. When you research that first ship tech, it gives you access to 2 different 1 command point ships. One of those ships will be an attacker type ship with the focus and offensive traits. And one of them will be more of a support type ship with the guardian and defensive traits. Guardian is pretty valuable. You can see here, this ship has 2,700 health, while this ship only has 2,100, and this ship gets more out of its defensive modules. So what we're going to do here is... we saw a pirate with energy weapons. I don't know that it's necessarily the case that all pirates will have energy weapons. Yeah, I'll leave this split. And then I think we'll go bullet weapons on our fleet. Just because... at the beginning of the game, projectile weapons do considerably more damage than the energy weapons you have access to. You can see there, 11 and 13. And the bullet weapons will, in addition to being very good, protect us from incoming missiles. So yeah, I like this design quite a bit. We could replace the nano repair bots here with the debris analyzer that we picked up. Give us some extra science when we win battles against the pirates. Honestly, I kind of like that. Yeah, it's reasonable. Alright, and then the Carve is already outfitted with bullet weapons. It also has one of these slots. But it can't mount the science thing, because that's a support ship only module. We could use this extra support slot to just make them faster, and put a second engine in the support ship in place of the science module, but I think 5 should be fast enough. And I do kind of want that science module in there. Alright, so we'll just we'll swap this out for shields. We only have 1 defensive slot. It may as well be good against the type of weapon we've already seen. And, like I said, the bullets are already protecting us against missiles. Okay, yeah, I think we're good here. So let's produce 3 of these guys and 1 of these guys. Nar will help keep the Carve safe. That's a pretty common early game fleet composition for me. One defender, 3 attackers. Should be more than enough to take out the pirates around Asulo. You don't need 4 ships for early pirate fighting, but the reason I want 4 ships is because that allows us to carry the maximum possible amount of manpower, and we have to be able to actually get rid of the pirate base, right? Alright, so we've unlocked... yeah, we researched the first tier of that part of the tree. Next population point is going to be Valter, unfortunately. Not a lot we can do about that. Alright, was there anything else we needed to do? We definitely want to finish this thing. Yeah, I mean, these are all perfectly reasonable builds. Are we cool on approval right now? We are. I mean, part of that is because of the Golden Age. 9 more turns of that. Okay, yeah, things are going alright. So when our fleet arrives at Owentho, we're going to praise them once and then search all their curiosities, and that'll be enough to get them going up toward giving us the assimilation quest. In 4 turns, we'll do this thing on Talitha, which means in 9 turns, we'll have enough favor on Talitha to get their assimilation quest. We might have to just go praise out on these guys, since I don't think I can safely send a ship over there. Maybe we should at least try it. Like, let's get Awento done and then send the scout back to Gem. Because I could be remembering wrong. And it would be nice to not have to praise them 3 times. Or we could, we could praise them twice and do a hack. That would save the most expensive of the praises. We're definitely drifting further and further away from having enough influence for the non-aggression pact, though. Yeah, and one of the problems with Psychagogia is that it does not have a tremendous amount of population space. Well, this might end up just being a pipe dream. Or, we might have to actually build ourselves a source of influence. And honestly, that would be worth doing anyway. Because we are eventually going to need more influence to keep our laws running. Okay, so we have unlocked now the ability to do the basic star system development. This is valuable for a couple of reasons. Number 1, of course, I love extra resources. But number 2, does it actually say this on the bonus here? Yeah, it totally does. Okay. It unlocks the spaceport. We did not need the spaceport at all, as the Umbral Choir, but the spaceport allows you to move points of population between your systems. This can be very, very valuable for creating situations where certain minor factions, or certain population types in general, are more likely to breed. If you fill a system with them and move all the other population out, obviously, it's very likely that that is the population type that will be produced in that system. Although, like I think I said last time, I believe there's always a small chance that you'll produce your main population type. I think. So spaceports, very useful. Their usefulness for molding the types of population you get is a little bit limited before you have enough systems to move people around to. So I guess we're not in a huge hurry on that. You can see here strategic resources used as system boosters give us the first 2 give us 40 of 2 different resources. So this is less food than you would get if you went for straight Red Sang, and less industry than you would get if you went for straight Jade Onyx, but it is more total points of resources. And obviously food and industry are both really important for starting systems. So I'd really like our first booster here to be titanium. We're going to have to actually secure a source of titanium before we can do that, but we are well on our way. What is our next research? You know, honestly, I think our next research is going to be impactless sites. I want access to the hero marketplace so that we can buy governors. I'm hoping to be able to pick up systems pretty quickly here between the Argosy and convincing all of these guys to join us. Okay, our hack has reached Talitha. It is not currently being hacked, and it will only take 2 more turns to finish. So, seems likely to me that that's actually going to work out. Alright, down here we want to praise them, and remember it's important to praise before searching, because the cost of praising is based on the number of positive modifiers that exist. So we have just enough probes to do all of this. I don't know why the probes are spawning over there. And now you can see, to praise now would be 100 influence, which obviously is a thing we do not want to pay. So in a few turns, in 9 turns, we will have enough influence with them. Found a source of adamantium, of empire science, even more empire science, and a source of antimatter. Wow, that's a pretty good system. Good thing it will be ours soon. You know, honestly, kind of want to just go over there and search Kerr. I want to reveal the stuff on Kerr. I think we will try just praising these guys twice, and then sending a hack to finish the job from there, rather than paying the other 70 influence. And we're just going to have to develop an actual source of influence. We're going to have to get an influence building unlocked or something. Alright. So this is the turn that the Argosy reaches Kerr. also have hit a population collection bonus. Okay, we hit 10 vaulters. So now we have even more scientific political will. That's fine, you know? I do like the Scientist Party. Something about people who understand and care about science being in charge of the government is just a very comforting notion to me. Possibly because of how different that is than the world that I actually live in. Alright, well, obviously, let's buy as many of these as we can. That's a shame. We actually can't buy enough Hyperium for it to matter here. And we'll also just buy all of that. So we are still going to have to sit here and wait for a couple of turns. I believe 2 turns. Maybe just 1. We'll see how much that cost goes down by. That is probably enough time for me actually to fly down, because we can see approximately where the star system is, right? It's probably enough time for me to fly down here and then come back. And it has introduced us to yet another minor faction. These guys are culturally resistant. Our systems are harder to convert using influence. That's another whole mechanic that we didn't have to deal with last time. We'll get there. Right now, I don't think the Bagaba are particularly amazing as a minor faction. I'm not gonna spend any influence on them right now. How many anomalies do they have? They have 3 curiosities, so we naturally have a +1 influence per turn with them, because they are temperate. I think that's a thing that happens with all temperate minor factions. So with us searching those curiosities, we'll be up to 4 per turn. So actually, we can just convert them without having to hack or spend any influence. Yeah, I'm really hoping we can take over the whole middle of the Empire. Or the whole middle of the map here. Yeah, I should have known that the Academy was going to be over here. It usually is in the middle of the galaxy. Alright, so we're going to improve our image in Talitha again. I'm going to select the Argosy here, but I'm having a hell of a time clicking on it while it's moving. There we go. Okay, so we would have been able to settle this turn if I just left it there. That's fine. That's not a big deal. I only have 2 probes, so I guess we'll start with the curiosities, or the anomalies. No, the curiosities that are on the world. And hey, look at that. Even more Hyperium. Not bad. We've also found a battle tactic that improves targeting of civilian ships. Well, this is probably never going to be useful, because the AI does not run civilian ships and military ships in the same fleets. Like, maybe ever? I don't know that I've ever seen them do that. And we found the Hyperium, right. Nope, I do not want you to go that way. I want you to go this way. No, sorry, I want you to hang out for 1 turn and finish searching. Okay, so where are we on these? We'll be done with this in 2 turns, and we will actually need to get this colonization going right after. So we're going to be at the population cap, just sitting there for a couple more turns, which I don't love. We are up to 3 Pulsos, which is good. If we pick up the multi-thread management tech, we might... Yeah, it's only 2 turns. We might be able to just buy this out. We'll see how our dust situation looks. I guess I shouldn't rely on being able to do that, because we are probably going to buy a hero if we can, and that's going to deplete our dust considerably. But I guess we have luxuries to sell, right? Yeah, we've been producing Super Spuds and Eden Incense this whole time. You know, Eden Incense, as part of our 2nd system development, could solve our influence problems. Alright, yeah. That is the plan. Oh, yes. We absolutely should be hacking. Let's run a hack out to Gem. So, we did not appear to get traced from Talitha. I'm wondering if we could just run this hack out to Gem without rerouting it. What would be the cost of rerouting it? Oof. 13 turns, huh? Yeah, I'm just going to send it straight there. I'm going to put on an accelerator just in case. Just minimize the amount of time that we actually spend there. I think that'll cut one turn off of it. And hopefully they just won't trace us like these guys didn't. You know, do I know that minor factions are able to trace hacks? Did we see that happen? Can't remember if we saw that happen at all in the first game. Alright, let's finish searching this and then get out of here. Okay, interesting. It was Dark Glitter. Dark Glitter is not a very good luxury. That's a shame. I was kind of hoping it was going to be a strategic resource. Subterranean anomalies often are. Subterranean curiosities often are. Okay, yeah, we definitely just want to put down here. So that's actually going to be a bunch of dust as well. Well, let's hope our luxuries sell for a lot. That planet is just lovely. Obviously, we have the same basic plan here as we do everywhere else. Actually, this planet is neither temperate nor fertile, so xeno-industrial infrastructure is a lot less powerful here. Oh, also, we need the technology that allows us to mine Hyperium. I can't believe I forgot about that. Alright. I can now see the status of every hero in the galaxy. How do I do that? Ah, here we go. There are currently 12 heroes in the galaxy, and we know all of them because we control the Academy. Interesting. I don't know how useful this is going to be perfectly honest with you. Oh, wait, hold on. We can see that Fasol Staccato is at RFGC 8843, which means that we now know which node has the capital of the Umbral Empire, or the Umbral Choir on it. We're going to have to find that node, but that is actually a very interesting piece of information. Alright, may as well finish getting Optimal Operations Expert. I can't imagine a thing I would like to be expert in more than optimal operations. Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, what was I gonna do? But what I was gonna do is see if we could buy a hero. So heroes are expensive. We have here an amoeba hero. Can we get anywhere near any of this amount of money before I even bother looking at these guys? We definitely don't need this dark glitter. We don't need these potatoes. We don't need any of this stuff. No, the answer is no, we cannot get anywhere near these prices. But now we know what the prices are. We know what we're saving up for. And we can build pulvis production. Start getting a little bit more industry, or a little bit more dust going. Honestly, this is quite a bit of dust for us. We have done a good job of maximizing population here. Well, okay, let's not spend anything just yet. Down here we finished this. We're gonna population cap here like immediately. Why don't we, first of all, specialize the planet a little bit? That's just like free science. And then we do not have an anomaly here. Honestly, it might be pulvis production. Boy, we build that very slowly, though. Yeah, I think that's still right. We're gonna need a lot of dust. See, our influence per turn is slowly climbing now, thanks to the population on Psychagogia. Okay, and with multi-thread management available, let's see if we can indeed buy out this this thing here. 3.6k, that's a little harsh. Oh. The Bagaba were just assimilated. So now there's another faction with a foothold on my constellation over here. What is the bonus for this constellation? Do I not get... Here we go. It is a plus dust constellation. Okay. Wow. The Sophons have really taken over a lot of planets here. Or a lot of systems, rather. Okay, well, maybe we're not going to be owning any constellations anytime soon. Alright, so 3.6k. Not really an amount that we can I'm surprised by how expensive that is. Not really an amount that we can put together. This fleet has 400 manpower. Let's see if that's enough to get us in trouble over at this pirate base. Man, I wish we had more dust. Alright, so we're just going to have to sit here, unfortunately, and be at the population cap for a minute. We are now actually mining both Hyperium and Titanium. Ah, yes, as we gain faction with the, as we gain approval with the minor factions, they will contribute some dust. It'll help out a little bit. Oh hey, it's Horatio.
Fortune smiles, for Horatio is willing to speak with you.
I never can seem to get away from this dude. Alright, well, I guess I'm still going to search these curiosities, even though they now mostly benefit him, because we get free stuff from them at least. Got ourselves a little bit of antimatter and a little bit of adamantium. Both things that sell reasonably well. He has his own ships here. Oh, these are the ships that belonged to the Bugaba before he took over. Well, hopefully he won't see a need to attack us. I could just bail, I guess. I have 1 point of movement. I don't have to stay here and wait to be attacked. Yeah, I guess let's keep looking around. Alright. We have stuff going. This is going to take forever. We are now building toward our system booster. I mean, I'm going to do a titanium boost. I guess we could just put that in. We could try to go for an adamantium boost. Because it's a higher tier of resource, we don't need quite as much of it. We're not actually mining it, nor will we be mining it soon, right? You know what? I do have access to the technology right now. We could grab neural robotics and extreme atmospherics, or actually, probably in the other order. Because, with any luck, we're going to be in control of Owentho pretty soon. Are they on the planet that has those deposits? They're not. But we could inhabit that planet for them, because we now know how to live on ash worlds. None of my planets have those resources. No, as much as I do think that this is really good, we probably ought to go for titanium. But I guess now that there's at least a chance I could do something else, maybe I don't want to commit this just yet. Okay, not really a lot of resources on the market. Selling these doesn't really help us. It doesn't get us anywhere near the amounts that we need. Yeah, we just gotta build actual dust improvements. You know what? Fighting the pirates will help a little bit, too. Oh, our boost has ended. Well, that is not a big deal, because I guess we're kind of like out of population space, right? But that's not going to be true for very long. Okay, 3 red sang. I can probably afford 3 red sang. Indeed, remarkable. Okay. Keep those pulsos boosted forever. New system needs to get the ability to... Look at that. We can buy out really, really cheap stuff. Unfortunately, that would be a crazy thing to do at this moment. You're 1 turn away from being able to pop back out, and then I probably am going to head back over here somewhere. So we know that there's a system owned by some player over here. We don't know this player, though, right? No. Living on this ocean world, that doesn't really tell us much. A lot of the factions can colonize ocean worlds at the beginning of the game, like us. So what I was thinking there is, if we take the Argosy up here and head this way, we might find that there's not a lot of settling space, right? I don't know. I don't know what we'll do. Oh, we now have enough approval with these guys to buy their quest. Take control of a planet in a new system adjacent to Talitha. It says take control of a planet, not take control of a system, right? In a new system adjacent to Talitha. Well, I don't know what it means by adjacent. It might be that we can't do this because all of the systems that are connected to Talitha via Starlane are already taken, but I have to imagine that if we couldn't do the quest, it would be coded not to give us that quest. So maybe it just means like really nearby. Maybe Wentha will count. And in the interim, while we don't own them, they are still providing resources to us. Yeah, fairly healthy amount of resources, actually. Alright, let's make sure that all of the Pulsos population stays on this world. And in fact, you guys can go back over to that world. Oh, we do have antimatter on Vorta 3. Well, that's very interesting. We also have access to the intergalactic supermarket, which would be really good here. All this production is not as good, but it is faster to build. Now let's go for this. That's going to be quite good, especially since we're planning to get our system development up to level 2. Alright, so we're just going to sit here and hang out for a minute. They have 450 manpower, while we only have 400. We can make our troops more effective. Plus 20% life is probably going to pay some pretty serious dividends. And with that, honestly, that might be enough for us to just take this thing down. And then have the Argosy come back and take over Osulo. That, I think, is going to be the plan. So we have 20% more life on 80 infantry. While they have 90 infantry to work with. Numerically, that does give us the advantage. And we can do bombardment. How much damage does an infantry unit do? They do 14 to 20, but I don't know how many times. I don't actually know what the mechanics of the ground battle are enough to know exactly what this means. Presumably, they attack more than once, right? Because otherwise the casualty values that we've seen from combat don't make any sense. So basically what I'm trying to do here is trying to figure out how much damage we lose by not contributing more men. And whether the damage from orbital bombardment is really worthwhile. It probably is. I'm going to go for this. I think we can do this. So yeah, if we do preemptive bombing, we only get to contribute 375 men instead of the 400 we could put in normally. But we gain 400 to 800 damage that occurs before the battle. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's obviously right. I thought, for some reason, I was thinking that 400 was the manpower contribution limit, but it turns out it's higher than that. Alright, so we won a minor victory. We took out a little bit more than they did, and we're going to be able to successfully do the same thing next turn. So that is a win. It's just a matter of time. You are down here now, where there are even more Horatio, or rather, even more sowers. It turns out Horatio has been over here converting minor factions all game. What a jerk. Alright, let's look at the atmospheric curiosity and then one of the life forms. The subterranean curiosity is almost certainly just going to be a strategic resource for this world, and I don't know that I want to reveal those for him. Or at least not first. We found a source of transvine and discovered that this planet has very crappy gravity. Gravity that would just be miserable as hell to live in. Alright, I mean, things are coming along. We're not exactly blowing it out of the water, but we are developing. You don't have any move left. Don't tell me you need orders. Alright, so we've lost enough... Oh, hey, this happened. Worth noting that Horatio and the Unfallen were the people who researched the largest number of military technologies. Kind of worrying, given that they are right next to us. We've also discovered the planet of Auriga. Well, isn't that interesting? Opening your empire's doors to new population types has its challenges, but also its rewards. Each new group adds to the strength and flexibility of a society, contributing to the maturity of your empire as a whole. So we will just continue to accumulate new population types. We don't need to think about this. It'll just get accomplished at some point. New event, a cold homecoming. You have found Auriga, the place from which your people departed ages ago. There seems to be no sign of life. The fate of those you left behind will require further investigation. Regardless, there is some cold satisfaction in knowing that the desperate escape from a dying planet was ultimately a success. So, for 10 turns, we are melancholy. Our scientists learn much, but our people mourn their lifeless home. Yeah, so Auriga, at this point in the Endless Legend, or in the Endless Universe, is just an icebox. Unfortunate. I would love to colonize that, maybe, if we could make that happen. Also, I'm not 100% certain why I became aware of it. We certainly don't have vision over there. I didn't send a probe in that direction or anything. Huh. Weird. Alright, let us continue bombarding. At this point, we're not even losing any, we're not even keeping any manpower out. We don't have enough manpower to get even close to the deployment limit. Alright, we're going to need another turn, maybe 2 of that. Continuing to produce Pulsos population. We'll have control of this pretty soon. Maybe I want to turn the Argosy around and get Gano. Nah, I wanna secure Osulo, and then we'll go back and get that afterward. I kind of want to go over there now. I mean, I guess let's not go directly over though. Let's use the Starlands. Turns out, still minor factions that Horatio has not taken over. We are 1 turn away from getting to see their quest. Where's that hack at? 2 turns away from them. Okay, I think we're doing all right. So we're now negative on approval because our negative on influence because our government keeps our population keeps growing, and our laws are expensive. Now that we're at the point where the non-aggression pact is actually becoming reasonable, I think I might pull these laws for a couple of turns. Because we're going to generate approval pretty quickly.
What can I do for you?
Or influence. I keep saying the wrong thing. Yeah, let's try to get up to that influence value. Do I want to run any of our free laws? Right now we are only loyal. And we're not loyal by very much. So any law that reduces our approval would drop us down a tier. So this is probably not happening. This is probably not happening. This would make us devoted again. But I don't know that I want to pay an industry cost. I think I might just leave our government empty for a few turns while we get this pirate thing sorted out. So, let's talk about the other thing that influence does that's important. You can see there are bubbles around all of our systems. Oh, pirates are spawning. There are bubbles around all of our systems that represent our influence in that area. The bubble grows over time, and any special node that ends up inside the bubble produces gives us its effects there. Like you can see, 1 influence in science per population. The way this bubble grows is by producing influence on the system. Every point of influence produced on the system grows the bubble by some tiny, tiny little amount. So the reason that Staturis has an influence area that is larger than that of Vorta is because Staturis is producing 32 influence per turn because this planet produces influence per population. So if we pursue buildings and upgrades and stuff that give extra influence to our population, or if we focus on developing population types that have influence on them, the bubbles will grow faster. If we manage to get one of our influence bubbles around another player's system, its population will start wanting more and more to join our empire, and we can, over time, peacefully just convert them from their empire to ours. It's a thing that probably will not happen a lot this game. We are not going to be focusing on that, but it is always fun when you can do it. Alright, we managed to destroy the pirate lair and got a measly 20 trees. That's not a huge amount of dust at all. Also, we gotta kill this pirate. I mean, we just stay up close and bullet him to death. He has split projectile and energy weapons. I do not expect him to do much damage. Also, his defenses are all energy defenses, which is a real shame for him. So hey, 20 science, hooray! That module's not really pulling its weight, honestly. Alright, I don't know what to do with these guys now. We could, like, threaten another player. I guess we could scout areas that are currently not being scouted. Here, you know what we'll do? Let's go up near the pirates. If it turns out that we are, for some reason, unable to get this luxury going, or this non-aggression pact going, then maybe we can just destroy them instead. We've discovered the Remnant civilization. Also, oh yeah, right. I forgot we were doing this. So, after centuries of study, Isyander is finally coming close to unlocking key mysteries in the history of the Lost. I mean, we saw this last game. So, we can search 3 identified curiosities in order to unlock the hero Kaxalxixox Druz. He's a Pulsos, so that would be kind of appropriate. Oh, we get him either way. Okay. So, colonize or create an outpost on 2 unique planets in less than 30 turns. We have one already. I don't know that we are necessarily in position to find another one. This is a little awkward for vaulters because, remember, player home planets count as unique for this purpose, but we don't have a unique home planet. So it's only counting Psychagogia. For any other normal faction, this would be done already, with us owning a unique that we found. We could go and inhabit Auriga. 30 turns? We could maybe take Auriga in 30 turns. The other option is they're going to show us some curiosities and we have to explore them. The status of the curiosities around these unique planets. You know, this might be a little bit more lucrative for us because it's going to show us the location of some unique planets. Let's do it this way. Let us investigate some curiosities. So I'm going to pin that. Show me those. Okay. Alright, we can do that. Let's talk about these guys. So how many curiosities do you have? 4. Which means we can just praise them once and that'll be enough to run them over. If we get them on our side, minus 35% improvement destruction. I assume during invasion attempts. That does not seem like a good trait at all. We still want to assimilate them, because obviously more planets and more population is a good thing, but what a bad trait. We discovered a source of antimatter and... ooh, an improved laser module that actually does more damage than our current weapons. That's definitely interesting. We also have taken the faction sovereignty of the Mavros, so let's see what they want. Just explore curiosities until you discover the lab. Oops, should have done that at the beginning of the turn. Fortunately, we have lots and lots of curiosities to explore around here, so I have no doubt we will get this done. It might even be worth making an extra scout ship. We kind of have a lot of stuff to look at. Alright, the Argosy is definitely headed for Osulo. Get another source of Hyperium income, because we're still not bringing in enough for system boosting to be easy. Are other players selling Hyperium yet? Improve image, we know we want to do that. Or titanium. The answer is no. There is no titanium anywhere, ever. Alright, so our pirates still looking for 500? Yeah, we can get to 500. The Galactic Census is coming up. So, what do we want? Do we want 30 titanium, 100 dust, or 80 influence? Those are interesting. The titanium and the influence are both potentially valuable. In less than 20 turns, possess 2 ships of at least 108 offensive power. Are my ships not? My ships are not of 108 power. Well, So we'd have to come up with some new designs to do that. Or we could just chill and get 80 influence and get this pirate thing done faster. I think this is the reward we should pursue. They'll produce some population. To make sure all of the pulsos are on the planet that has the anomaly. It's a little bit of a shame that the AI, the spawning AI, is not smart enough to do stuff like that for you. Although I guess it's possible there is an AI governor thing that you can turn on. It's possible that if I turned that on, it would handle that for us. But then it would also decide what to build, and I am at least okay at managing my own stuff here. Right, even more antimatter, and plus vision range on this fleet. Probably not terribly useful, because the fleet's probably just going to be hanging around this area for quite some time. Oh, hacks. I should be running hacks. So, I mean, I'm going to hack Horatio, right? Doesn't that seem like the thing to do? So, one bounce might not be safe. He probably will trace us. If we do 2 bounces, oof, we're talking about a huge amount of time. If we go for the 1 bounce and he successfully traces it back, we're going to get in trouble. He's going to be mad. I guess I have warships, though. Do I need to be afraid of him? I'm just going to try it. And actually, I don't know that anybody... Oh no, the Sophons know where Vorta is. I was going to say maybe we could drop the encryption on Vorta. Because, like, I definitely want to run encryption on Kerr as well, now that he's here. And then I guess we may as well run an accelerator on Ikima. Try to take a turn, or... It's probably going to take about 1 turn off of the time our hack spends at Ikima, and all of that time is after their trace will have started. So that's the valuable time. Hopefully that'll be enough to keep us from getting traced back. We're going to have to deal with the other factions of the galaxy in a much more normal way this game. Which is to say, a much more complicated way. Alright, what is this? Slingshot. Our fleet has entered Osulo and has barely slowed from superlight when we triggered a trap. That's fine. So we will we'll just study the trap. We'll sit there and get intentionally hit with it and study the effect, because who cares about the fleet health of the Argosy? And then we can't settle right away, so I guess we just hang out. Yeah, I don't really want to run all the way past here. Oh, interesting. That's a Sophon influence bubble. Also, is that a Citadel shield? I think this is a Citadel shield. They not only already built a Juggernaut, but were able to convert it into a Citadel? Really? I guess the basic Citadel blueprints are only here. We could also totally have that ability. Huh, interesting. We should probably figure out how to make behemoths. Let's throw that in the queue. Alright, so you're hanging out. You need to search. Also, I noticed that pirates have taken over Auriga, which is not great. Source of Adamantium. Well, let's hope there's no pirates hanging out here. That's weird. There is a loose scavenging behemoth. It only has 107 attack, but it will probably attack us as soon as we arrive. We can try to search that that curiosity before that happens. I think I'm going to do that rather than directing our guy to just fly through. Alright, so what did we accomplish? Ah yes, we did this. We sure did. The Vaulters began their journey through the stars as an almost medieval society. Their adaptability and intelligence have turned them into an efficient, advanced workforce. From the fearful refugees on the Argosy to the confident craftsmen and explorers of today, this people has come a long way. Sadly, they are torn between those who feel nostalgia for their past and others who have an overt desire to forget it. Something needs to be done to either turn the former away from melancholy, or to help the latter remember their traditions. For if serious schisms form within the Vaulters, their innate drive to take care of the clans first will make everything else secondary. Work, politeness, and public order included. So, we can choose to focus on the dust, look to the future. It appears plentiful and full of hope. It's true, the future is plentiful, that's how time works. We would unlock the Strat Recycler, which allows us to get strategic resources from combat. That's actually a pretty good module. Or Deep Space Dust Scoops, which are modules we can install on our ships that just generate dust. Unfortunately, they're pretty expensive and they don't generate a lot of dust. I think I like this better, especially because we're about to finish a building that makes us produce a lot of extra dust. Right, yeah, we're only 2 turns away from that. Also, look at that. We discovered how this trap works and it's given us a ton of industry everywhere. Hooray. And these guys are now willing to give us a quest. The Epistis representative snares at you, the sneer unmistakable. Really? They don't have faces. We are a proud race. Our culture forbids us from bowing down to those whose strength is inadequate. You begin to describe your empire's power, its vast industrial bases, shining fleets, disciplined armies, but the Epistis interrupts. Those things are only reflections of an empire's true strength. Its people. The Epistis looks dismissively at your surrounding retinue. Grow your numbers, and we might begin to consider you a worthy master. So reach 15 population that are not your main population type. We actually can probably do that. Alright, so next turn we're going to be able to make this non-aggression pact happen. I'm very excited about the possibility. And, oh, we're actually just short dust on this. We might be able to make that work. I have some luxuries here we can sell. Boy, we're not really selling them for very much, are we? Hey, math. One of these sells for 29. Or one of them sells for 21. 29 of them only sell for 230? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, that's definitely wrong. Huh. Well, I don't really know what to do about that. Was that affecting all of our sales? It might have been, actually. Well, that's awkward. Okay, I guess we're going to wait for this cost to come down over time. We probably want to get this up, now that we have access to this building. It's pretty powerful. So we just need to keep searching anomalies for this. Alright. They did not immediately shoot us. So let's search this quest thing. We found 60 Empire production, or 60 Empire science. We got one step toward this, and that was the curiosity that got us the Mavros. So another 80 influence for us. And look at that. Now we can get our non-aggression pact. Nope. 600. Really? They raised the price during the middle of the turn. What a bunch of jerks. Alright, well, I'm wondering if taking over this planet will count for this quest, because I really would like to get these guys on board as well. Take control of a planet in a new system adjacent to Talitha. I'm assuming that this means a system, yeah, you can set up an outpost, trade for it diplomatically, or invade to take control of a new system. Oh, okay. So the only way for us to complete this quest is to invade Yakima. We're probably not quite up to the task on that one. Alright, so you were just waiting on. You guys, I guess, should probably hang out around Kerr in defensive mode. Just guard our new system here. Okay, this is an alright planet, so we got another new population type. I think the Mavros are quite good as well. You can see the next point of population produced here is going to be Vaulters, so it turns out I was remembering that correctly. What are the Mavros like? The Mavros like Hydromiel. That's a shame, because that's one we're not going to be able to get a hold of just yet. What is this? I have diplomatic options with somebody.
Yeah? Why are you knocking around?
Oh, I could tell them to buzz off. I don't really want to do that. They won't like that very much, and we don't actually get any benefit at all from doing it. Oh, an election. I guess let's just keep supporting the scientists. That seems fine. Alright, scientist pacifist now. This is a familiar government type. Alright, let's finally sign that non-aggression pact, right? Right?
I know we can agree on a
No,
price.
700. Why does this keep... Why does this have to keep going up? Oh, hey, yes, getting the Mavros was enough non-main population to get the Epistis on side. And to accomplish this... This system's variety of peculiar architectural landmarks, surrounded by examples of far more modern construction, is evidence of a barely FTL civilization that was assimilated by a more technologically advanced galactic empire. Hey, that's us. Although some of the traditional customs and ways of the Epistis persist, they have essentially adopted Vaulter culture. So what it's trying to tell us there is that we created this friendly locals thing, I think. Boy, these worlds are kind of screwed up. This one's not bad, though. Alright, well, you guys just build some real basic stuff here. I probably am not going to have a scout ship over here anytime soon. Alright, get some more ships for us.
Change your mind?
It does kind of seem like they're just increasing the influence cost so that it's always out of reach, right? Because the reason it jumped from 500 to 700 was because we got 693 influence. It seems like they're screwing with us. I'm not saying that's definitely what's happening, but it sure does look like what's happening. Well, I guess these guys can just hang out here for the moment. We could disguise our ships as pirate ships, and then go and harass Horatio, I guess. Yeah, we kind of did earn a bunch of free manpower worth of ships. Why don't we do exactly that thing? This is how we're going to get the Harmony to join our team. We're going to burn out the settlements on Yakima, and then take it over with the Argosy. We're still short. The cost of this went up because the cost is based on the number of systems you own. So as we acquire more and more minor faction systems, it's just going to keep getting more expensive, unfortunately. And we have now gained a bunch of Empire traits here. So plus 5% star system trade value on systems is listed twice for some reason. And then also ship builders, minus 10% ship cost. That's a pretty good one, actually. Pretty happy about that. Alright, so we need to wait on you. You have one more thing you can search here. Source of Adamantian. Even more reason to take over Gano. It is a shame that the pirates are all in our way over here. Maybe what I ought to do with all these ships is run them over to Pirate Town and burn this down. Yeah, and then delay the non-aggression pact again, because I'm sure I can't invade pirate worlds while we're having a non-aggression pact. Yeah, maybe that's worth doing. I'll think on it, because I think this is maybe a good spot to end the episode for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see if we can finally make friends with these pirates, or if I decide to just kill them all because I'm tired of their nonsense. And we'll see you then.